I kind of wish I had all of that, like with audio as well. The collapse and everything.
I was breaking stuff.
Do you have any? Looks dark over there. I don't know. I don't look over there very often when we're recording. I just realized.
Demon.
No, that's over there.
I don't like this game.
I can see right into that room right across the way, and with the light on, I'm just gonna be staring at it so much.
That's not important. Oh, it's just New Game Plus is cool. Cool feature. I don't know.
What did you just do New Game Plus with?
Oh, thanks. Man, Days Gone. You don't give a shit.
Well,
I don't know.
It's like you're like fishing. You're like, I'm gonna set him up. Let's see if he bites.
I'm just
fucking be like, hey, you know.
Yeah, New Game. I just haven't New Game Plus something in a while, and that sounded like fun, and it is fun because. Know what I realized? Because you've messed around with it, right?
Days Gone?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, because it's on the friends that played this, so you have it.
I've probably added it to my library.
Yeah. Well, yeah, your little icon pops up.
Maybe I turned it on once.
Yeah, maybe. that's PlayStation fishing.
Are you stalking me, Tommy?
No, it really does have this kind of Last of Us feel because of its, Pacific Northwest, and it's a little more high energy in the sense of it's
zombies. Yeah.
Yeah, and it does have the crossbow you can play quietly thing, but it also gives you some really big guns where you're like, let's go,
I like the end of Resident Evil 3. Oh, did you finish 3?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I like that. It has that kind of vibe to it. But I was just playing it because I was like, I really do want to play something again like Last of Us, but I didn't want that level of emotional turmoil.
That's fair. I just saw on the PlayStation Network I can update my Last of Us 2 to PlayStation 5 remastered version for $10.
I did that.
They're offering that. I think that is. I like that.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, they've been doing that with a couple. That's not the. They've been doing that
for the first time.
No, they've been doing that for a minute.
Okay. Thank you, PlayStation, for doing that.
It's. Did you do it?
No, because I don't want to. It's gonna be. Is it a limited time offer?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I've never seen them do that.
So it's like I don't have any desire to replay the game right now. So, but now that I know that it's there, it gives me that like, well, maybe in a little bit I'll play because I'm on my second playthrough of Baldur's Gate right now.
Well, the only reason I say do it is because they added a new mode.
Well, I'm not going to play it. So I'm going to do I'll do it when I get it.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, but the mode.
I don't care.
The mode is like roguelike. You go through different like procedurally created scenarios.
Oh, cool.
So you pick your character, and then the longer you go, you have to like it's either gonna be humans or it's gonna be clickers, and they're just these randomly generated challenges you have to do. So there's no story or anything. It's just using the mechanics of the game to survive as long as possible.
That makes me kind of want to get it.
Which that's why I got it. And I was like, that sounds fucking sick. Where you can just play the combat and don't really have to deal with the story beats.
All right.
And it's fucking hard.
We should have saved this for the banter next week.
We can talk about get it and talk about it.
Fine.
This is Tommy.
This is Jake.
This is Tommy and Jacob's
mixtape.
Hello. The coins?
Yeah. You figured it out. Points, coins.
We did one hipster movie, and now we're following up with one of the most hipster movies ever.
Yeah.
Like meta hipster.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello, welcome back, everyone. As you can see from the title, and if you've been following us, we are doing Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah, we really wish I could just put on a really heavy bass riff right now.
And what a bizarre movie.
Fun movie. I really like this movie.
I like it without liking it.
What?
I was watching it in the sense of this would have been so fun to make. Mm-hmm. Like to make the movie and have these quirky. It's almost like it's like a big skit. Like every scene has like a skit that they're doing. It almost feels like skitty to me a lot of the time, but the substance of the plot I didn't really care for. I didn't really care about the story itself very much.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't really care. I mean, and maybe through the topic of actually talking about it, I could change my tune, but I just really know what it kind of reminded me of? It reminded me of Speed Racer.
I could see that, yeah.
It's just
it's very stylistic.
God, it's so fun, and for how old it is, it looks really good.
It does.
It looks really good.
I'm actually rewatching it makes me want to watch the new animated version of it on Netflix.
I did start it.
Yeah?
Yes. And now when I didn't also, speaking back on PlayStation, it's on Scott Pilgrim's on the network. PlayStation Network.
It's on Prime.
That's on Prime. No, the game.
Oh yeah. No, it's it's a PlayStation. Yeah. It's
What did I say? I played it
played
too.
I've played it.
Yeah, I played it last
It's
night.
fun. It's fun beat 'em up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like those games by myself though.
No, it's funner with those types of games. Are more fun
It's
with
just
people.
In the DNA of it, it's more fun with people.
Yeah, and what's really nice about this is like there's also like a leveling. There's like a leveling up system with it as well.
I was very surprised by that.
Yeah, no,
When I
it's
saw that,
actually
I was like,
it's a pretty dope.
yeah, that
beat
was
'em
cool.
up.
I've
Yeah.
never seen that. I was like, that's really cool.
No, when it was kind of critically acclaimed when it came out, or at least I guess that's the right way to put it.
Well, it looks great too.
Yeah, the game. Yeah.
It's cool.
And also, this movie was critically acclaimed and then bombed to the box office. Let's move on.
Okay.
So yeah, this came out in 2010. The movie came out in 2010. It was first released July 27th at the Fantasia International Film Festival in Canada. And then went on to kind of like just be kind of a box office miss, not a flop, but a miss. It was number 92 domestically in the United States and 122 worldwide. But yeah, it was just kind of like
And just for those of you that don't know, because I didn't, the Fantasia Festival, founded in 1996, focused on niche, B-rated, and low-budget movies, from horror to sci-fi.
It's not low budget.
Yeah, I was like, well, then why is this there? And that was just a quick little brief thing.
It's like where it probably originated from, and then now it's like, well, yeah, now it's probably grown. And, full really quick for 2010.
This time I got 49 versus I had 41 in episode 159.
I didn't look back, but I counted 39 this time. And I don't know if that's the same.
Speaking of your whole football thing, what's it called?
Fantasy football?
Fantasy football, thank you. Your Fantasia football. We got to figure out what the prize is for this game that we're playing with.
I don't know. It was your idea.
Okay, well, okay, $1 million. My idea. Now you got to pay it if I win. See, it's a partnership, bitch.
Yeah, we're just gonna put $1 million into the pod. I'm gonna give you $1 million and not do anything with the podcast. Yeah, cool. Sounds like a great plan. Fucking.
But should it be a prize or should it be like a bet? Like, okay, if I win, you have to do blank.
How about we talk about this off camera? God. Why don't you give us a synopsis of what Scott Pilgrim versus the World's about, Tommy?
Oh, my eye is so itchy.
Hey, you got a dick in there.
What are you, 14? Your mom goes to college. A heartbroken young man fights a girl's 7 evil exes to continue dating her. I don't know. It's a weird movie to...
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a weird... I watched it with you-know-who, and she was like, not about it. I just put her to bed. I was like, can you stop?
I mean, it has everything that she wouldn't like.
Exactly. Yeah, this is definitely a lane for...
Yeah.
For
and there's a definitely... This movie is more for your generation. A little bit of my generation, but more your generation.
Yeah, it's... Yeah, well, it's just that era, too. Like, it's... You know, like, it will kind of... I mean, it will come up with even, like, Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist.
Yeah.
Very music culture and...
Indie rock.
Indie rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very... the Eels and... Black Keys that I completely forgot about that distorted radio thing.
Yeah,
they do
like with on the vocals.
On the vocals,
yeah.
and stuff. Yeah. So definitely. Sorry, my phone just went off on me.
Yeah.
That. I forgot to do that. Yeah, I get it.
All right, well, let's go into writer director and all the history of it and whatnot, and starring and so forth. Because I did not know, I forgot that this was directed by Edgar Wright. Which we probably did notice when we did Baby Driver.
Well, yeah, that was episode 51.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was a long time
a while ago. Yeah, Edgar Wright, also Shaun of the Dead. That whole like The World's End, Hot Fuzz. He most recent The Last Night in Soho.
Oh, with
Chris Hemsworth,
Anna Joy Taylor,
Anya Joy Taylor, yeah,
Anya Joy Taylor, Anya, Anna, right?
Who's on first?
Queen's Gambit. No, Chris Hemsworth. You're thinking of
I'm thinking of
the hotel.
Well, yeah, Hotel El Royal Hotel.
El Royal Hotel.
Yeah,
yeah, that was a cool movie.
I don't know. I think I tried to start watching that, fell asleep, and I think I tried to start. No, I never tried to watch Last Night in Soho.
I never got around to it.
Okay.
That's that murder mystery.
Last Night in Soho?
No, yeah. Last Night in Soho, yeah.
Yeah. But also I found really cool is he's going to be directing the new adaptation of The Running Man.
The Schwarzenegger?
Stephen King. And Schwarzenegger. It was Stephen King novel turned into a Schwarzenegger movie. Now being remade by I wanted to avoid saying the remake of The Running Man and just a readaptation of the book because I would assume they're not gonna like let's remake that movie. They're like let's go back to the source material.
Yeah.
Also, just really quick, I just want to point out what The Running Man the dystopic future of The Running Man
2017.
No, close. We haven't met it yet.
Oh, okay.
2025.
Oh, like right there.
Yeah, right.
What is The Running Man about again?
It's pretty much a dystopic future where like convicts are put into like a battle royale system.
It's a sci-fi gladiator.
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like a lot of the convicts are like some of them were innocent actually. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger's character. So
I didn't do it.
But I mean that's the premise of the movie. I don't know what the differences between the movie and the book were. So, and I know that Stephen King had some qualms. I want to say with it. Anyhow, we're talking about Scott Pilgrim, not The Running Man. But I just wanted to bring that up. That Edgar Wright was, the future is coming up. Mm-hmm. The future is coming up.
Didn't we have that with Johnny Mnemonic? Like, man. Oh, no, because that was around the time, too.
I think it was like 20. I think Johnny Mnemonic takes place in like 2019.
And that was in the height of COVID. And we were like, this is kind of spooky.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
All right, so let's go into. I wanted to start with the comic book writer.
So the graphic novel is written by Bryan Lee O'Malley.
Yeah,
was originally published August 2004 and ran until 2010.
Well, because it was six volumes.
I didn't realize it was that big.
Yeah, yeah. That's why the Netflix series is gonna
kind of. Yeah, and everybody's in that too again, right?
Yeah, everyone. They're all the same. All the original cast is now doing the voice acting.
Cool, and
right?
That is so cool. They're able to pull that off in this day and age.
Well, because also it's like you just need the they've all aged, but they still have the voice for it, Because this movie is like perfectly cast.
Well, it's just it's like you say they all age, but no, man, Michael Cera was still in Barbie, and he really didn't look that different, to be honest. I don't think.
Did you see his Super Bowl commercial?
No, I didn't. I did not partake in anything.
No, that's fine. I don't know if you'd like.
No.
Okay, he is now the face for CeraVe.
Oh no! Yes, you're right. I did see that. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't realize that was for Super Bowl.
It was a Super Bowl commercial. Yeah. Okay. I was dying of laughter. Anywho, Bryan Lee O'Malley. He's also wrote he has two other short graphic novels that he's wrote. One before Scott Pilgrim and one that just came out in 2014. He's a Canadian-born comic book artist, independent comic book artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has one coming out called Lost World to be announced.
Yeah. And what's interesting, the history of the Scott Pilgrim graphic novels is originally it was all just done in black and white, and then they redid it and did it all in color. So you can get a colored version if you want, or you can get the OG black and white version.
I think that an inked version with color would be better. That's just from the movie too. It pops. The colors are such.
What's interesting is I'll show you some panels of it with the black and white. It just because of the animation style it works.
Well, because with that it would look very manga.
Manga.
Your manga.
How white are you?
What was the other one?
I don't know.
Warriors of Virtue. Toa.
Oh,
Toa, what was it?
I forget. We'll move forward. Let's move forward. I can't.
This potato salad's pretty good, but it needs a little mayonnaise, Barbara.
Thanks, Kyle.
I love him.
All right. Oh yeah. So yeah, Brian Lee O'Malley did the comic book, and then Edgar Wright is also one of the writers, screenplay writers for this, with Michael Bacall.
Yeah, and Michael Bacall did things like Project X, 21 Jump Street,
and 22 Jump Street,
the movies with Jonah Hill and
Channing Tatum.
I kept wanting to call him John Cena.
Man, that was rough to watch.
I kept wanting to call him John Cena for some reason. I was like,
they kind of look a little.
That'd be a funny. That's a funny movie, actually.
I would love to see Channing Tatum play like John Cena's little brother in a movie.
Yeah. That would be good, actually.
I think they would have good banter together.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but he's also he's also an actor. Has a lot more acting credits than writing credits.
Yeah, I didn't really recognize him.
When I see his face, I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen him in stuff.
Yeah, I got two, but I don't know what. I was looking at his list. And
you got to look at the images, like screenshot images that on IMDb, and then all of a sudden it'll kind of
like his character.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and then it'll come together. But also, I mean, he's never been like the lead in a big movie. You know, he's done like small roles in like Inglourious Bastards and Django Unchained. You know.
Yeah.
But also, he's one of the writers on for The Running Man that's coming out with Edgar Wright. So I think him and Edgar Wright kind of have like a cohabitated thing. I don't know.
Cohabitated thing.
I don't know why I said it like that. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I know what I'm trying. Shut up, Jacob. Okay, cool. Are you still looking him up?
Oh yeah. Okay, now I recognize him from Inglourious Bastards.
There you go.
All right, cool. For some reason, it kind of reminds me of Chester.
Chester?
Mm-hmm. From Linkin Park.
Oh, okay. I went to my landlord. I was like, what?
Okay. Kind of reminds me of Chester.
I can kind of see that, I guess. Let's move forward, though.
Okay.
So, yeah, let's go into starring. Because, I mean...
Oh, yeah. I meant to talk to you about this before. How do you want to do that?
Let's just really focus on the main two, maybe Knives-ish.
Okay.
And then we're just going to shout out pretty much everybody else.
Okay.
Because like what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like 10 like other like big name stars in this fucking movie.
Yeah,
11 or 12.
14.
Yeah. So yeah. But I mean,
oh, that's funny. There are seven on Scott's side and 7 on Ramona's side.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like his supporting, like his sister, his friends, his Knives.
Are
like,
you? Yeah, you're Kenny. Knives over there. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then, interesting.
Who are the other two other than Knives? His sister,
so
roommate,
sister, the drummer, Aubrey Plaza, who's like.
Oh, I'm forgetting Young Neil.
And Young Neil, yeah.
Okay. Oh, and Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah.
You're counting her as well. Okay, cool. All right. Well, this movie,
The Lovebirds.
Who is Scott Pilgrim?
Michael Cera.
What is he from?
Cera V.
Cera V. Moisturize. Yeah, I love it so much. He's just so committed to it as well. Actually, oh my God, I just remembered something. With Michael Cera. Remember, the movie Her? With Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
Jonah Hill was hosting SNL one year that like when Her was coming out, and they're doing this like parody of like Her when like he hires like a prostitute to come and like be like the body for the AI voice, and Jonah Hill's Joaquin Phoenix, and it's that bit, and he opens the door and it's Michael Cera dressed just like Jonah Hill in the bit, and it's just, all right, never mind.
Well, I still haven't seen Her. So everything.
So Michael Cera is from Arrested Development. You got to big start in Arrested Development, and then kind of like big breakthroughs with Juno and Superbad.
Yeah, I wrote something down and I don't know what it means. Okay, SP takes off.
SP Takes Off?
Oh, Scott Pilgrim Takes Off.
Yeah, the new series.
I wrote it down, didn't remember. And then more recently is in a Hulu show called Life
Life with Beth.
Yeah, Life and Beth.
So good, actually. It's Amy Schumer.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's kind of slightly autobiographical-ish. Michael Cera plays, who is supposed to be kind of a representation of her husband, who is autistic. So Michael Cera's playing an autistic guy, and he fucking kills it, actually. He's so good at it. So it's kind of it's one of those like tragic comedies. Like, it's funny and sad at the same time because it's depressing, but like the stupid shit that happens. It was also written and directed by Amy Schumer. I don't know, maybe not directed, but written by. It's developed by her. What?
No, I'm just. What is that called? Oh, Afterlife. That's what it's called. Now, for some reason, Life and Beth made me think. I was thinking of Afterlife. Ricky Gervais.
Oh,
I was having a wire was crossing. Don't worry about it. Moving on.
But I think most recently, actually, he'd be recognized for being not Ken, Alan in Barbie.
Yeah, Alan.
The ally. I love it. The only other one that's kind of like aware of everything that's happening.
Yeah. And then other for the Lovebird section, I guess, is Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who plays Ramona Flowers.
Who we talked about.
Yes, in episode 72, we did a review of Swiss Army Man.
I don't think we talked much about her, though.
Nah, but
we mentioned,
yeah, she mentioned her. She's the crossbow killer in Birds of Prey.
Yeah, she's Huntress.
Crossbow killer.
Why?
Because that's the joke. She wants to be known as Huntress, but everyone just keeps calling her the crossbow killer.
Oh, I don't really remember Birds of Prey that much.
Oh yeah,
I remember the fight scenes more than anything.
That's her joke. Is that she
really?
wants to go by Huntress?
Huntress?
Like she's even in the mirror practicing, "I am Huntress," but everyone just keeps calling her the crossbow killer.
I never picked that
and
up.
She gets
Okay.
like annoyed by it. It's Huntress.
What's the first movie you remember seeing her in?
Sky High.
Yeah, I was gonna say Sky High is the same.
I actually watched that not too long ago. It's not bad.
No,
it's a fun Disney.
It's a fun thing. It holds up, and it's like it's one of the few Disney originals that actually had a theatrical release too.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was that fun, like, almost it's like kids' Mystery Men. It's in that lane of like almost like satire of the superhero.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, like Bruce Campbell as the coach is great.
Yeah.
What's the actor that plays the dad?
Isn't it Ego?
Yeah, it's Ego. Yeah.
Russell
Quaid. No,
not Quaid. 300 Miles to Graceland.
Kurt Russell.
Jesus Christ.
We're it's gonna look like on the camera that we're just frozen. Kurt Russell, because Kurt Russell was also like an early Disney kid.
Oh yeah, we talked about that. And then also 10 Cloverfield Lane, which if you haven't watched that in a while, I would say rewatch that. That was a cool movie.
Yeah. She's also most recently in Ahsoka playing the live action Hera.
Oh yeah, that is her. God, it's with the makeup. It's
the makeup and the blue eyes.
Yeah,
the blue eyes are a little much, but it's like Hera has blue eyes, so yeah. But it's just kind of distracting. It's like Mary Elizabeth Winstead does not have blue eyes like that. All right.
So what do
Here
we
we
do
go.
now? Are you just going to list them off?
We have Kieran Culkin, Anna Kendrick, Allison Pill, Aubrey Plaza, Chris Evans, Brie Larson, Brandon Roth, Mae Whitman, Jason Schwartzman, Ellen Wong. Who else do you got? I didn't put down Young Neil or the other guy, the singer of the band. Like because I feel like
so Young Neil is Johnny Simmons, Steven is Mark Webber.
Yeah. So it's crazy is that this movie, how many of these people became huge fucking names?
Yeah.
I mean, we have 2 future MCU stars, someone who has already been Superman.
God, what happened to his career?
This.
No, I think Dylan Dog.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I love that movie.
And then you have like Aubrey Plaza would go off to do Parks and Rec. Like we said, Mary Elizabeth Winstead to become Huntress. Mae Whitman to be like the lead of her own kind of one of the leads of her own show. Like Jason Schwartzman, who kind of was already kind of big. I think he was probably him and Michael Cera were probably like the top names at this time for this movie. Ellen Wong just kind of she's done some stuff. Also, I feel like her like facial expressions as Knives in this movie are amazing and heartbreaking at the same time. Like she just that broken, just like little girl.
Yeah, she did the Star deconstruct teenager
very well.
Very well.
Yeah.
You know. And it's like they did, you know, that was good though, because it was like,
God damn it, I can't get rid of this cough.
being the teenager, everything is either the end of the world or the make all be all.
Exactly, yeah.
And for her, they did that very well.
But yeah, it just fucking, it's crazy just how many, because I mean he's got to beat up 7, you know, exes, not ex-boyfriends, exes. Why do you keep correcting me? Jesus. God damn it, Tommy, get your shit together.
It was empty.
Turn.
Don't touch.
It's got a crazy good cast. And also like Kieran Culkin can like go on and to do what he's done with Succession. You know, he just won a fucking Golden Globe.
Yeah, and he was really funny.
He's so fun. I love that he keeps taking like Anna Kendrick's boyfriends.
Yeah. I just like his weird superpower being able to like immediately text the information to
her as well.
Yeah.
Also, Anna Kendrick was fucking, I mean, small role, but really fucking funny in this.
Yeah, it was all really well. Yeah, like you said, it was all really well casted. I don't know. I go back and forth with Michael Cera.
Just like him as an actor?
Yeah, just him as an actor.
This is really boring. Delete.
In front of
Yeah. Wow, you can get messages. Messages on the internet? That's crazy. There's a weird thing about like the datedness of this movie too, being 2010.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, but it's also
kind of set in a world like of more the early 2000s. I feel as well.
Well, like it's some of the humor is dated, but it's also like because we lived through it. We're like, that's what would have kind of been said.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and that's kind of why I feel the Scott Pilgrim takes the animated series. They can update it, you know, because I feel like the message of this is very relevant and to today's audience of like teenagers and whatnot, and you know, just young
youth.
Yeah. And so just to kind of like update, just make it more modern-ish, you know, still like, because also this stylized humor is very much like very still it's in with the kids right now. It's popular still. What are you looking at?
I just was I meant to do that earlier, but I was thinking about do you know how close this was to the comic book series?
So a little bit that I did the reading on, it seems mainly accurate, and when there's an alternate ending where Scott leaves with knives, like gets back together with knives at the end.
It kind of felt like it was going that way.
But that's not how it ends in the comics. And so when it was released and shown, there was a lot of like backlash to that, because it's like you're missing the point if you're having him end with knives. Of Knives' arc, pretty much. Mm-hmm. And so they reshot it and had him go off with Ramona.
Okay.
So it's pretty accurate, but it's also like a lot of beats, a lot of things that need to get, you know, rushed through, because it's like almost a 2-hour long movie, and it's 6 volumes of not just like a thin, like, you know, it's not 6 issues, it's 6 volumes.
So I just found a website actually that does the comparisons. And this has a accuracy rating of 5 out of 5.
Really?
So it's pretty damn, and it breaks down what the like differences. Scott is 23 in the books, 22 in the movie, changed to be the same age as Michael Cera. The ending is different, and then some dialogue and attitude is switched between Ramona and Envy.
Fair.
And the reason I brought that up is because did they really write that? What? So 1, 2, 3. Number 4, Roxy, was she really killed by having an orgasm? I was like,
It's because a man gave it to her.
I was like, that's a decision, I guess. No, I was just really curious. Did we write that, or was that already there? Or you'll never be able to do this to her.
Yeah,
I was like,
right?
It's a man's world. But yeah, I was like,
did they say that the ending is different on that list?
Yeah, the ending.
Interesting.
It just says the ending, which I kind of wish they would. I mean, there's a whole thing they might actually.
I wonder if maybe I read that backwards, where in the comics he does end up with knives, but test audiences didn't like it, so they wrote it for him to end up with Ramona. I don't know. That's weird.
Started filming. Sorry, the last volume wasn't complete when he started filming.
Yeah.
As a result, Writer used the notes he was gathering from O'Malley on what he planned to do at the end of the series. That ending involved robots and a microchip Gideon had installed in Ramona. As O'Malley was writing, he came up with a better ending and used that in the book, but filming had wrapped by that point. So I guess it was kind of like a Game of Thrones.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, where was it kind of going? Let's go with that.
I mean, since it wasn't finished, like he found his own ending that he wanted, but this is the ending we have for the movie regardless.
Yeah. So,
but he liked the ending, of the movie. So he's like, yeah. All right, well, let's go into reviews, so we can go into our review. I wonder how many times I've said it just like that.
That's the first time it's ever. Okay, give us our scores.
IMDb's got this as a 7.6, and on Rotten Tomatoes we have an 82% tomato meter rating and an 84% audience score. So moderately high.
Metacritic, this has a 69 out of 100, which is generally favorable, with 26 positive, 9 mixed, and 3 negative. 100 out of 100 by A.O. Scott at the New York Times. Its speedy, funny, happy spat spirit is so infectious that the movie makes you feel at home in its world, even if the landscape is, at first glance, unfamiliar.
Yeah, okay. Crazy for 100 out of 100.
There was actually, I was kind of surprised. I didn't.
I mean, it is like this is like when it in its like container of like what it is extremely successful for what it was doing and what it was creating.
Yeah,
like it doesn't shy away from anything of its identity.
Okay. 50 out of 100 for our mix by Kyle Smith at the New York Post. I didn't realize it did 2 New York ones. A big, warm, cinematic jelly donut stuffed with youth, vitality, style, whimsy, and other equally alarming properties. I tried to love it, but after 20 minutes, I sensed I was intruding on the movie's love affair with itself.
Nah. I mean, I see what he's trying to say.
I think that's kind of where I picked that one because that's kind of how I feel about it.
That's where you're at with it, feel
right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's definitely like the style of like the of like all the video game culture stuff and all that and whatnot, that's like, I mean, that's just what the comics were too.
I'm just curious. Because when did that come out?
What are you looking at?
Funny. I just looked up Speed Racer.
Oh, it was like, what, 2009 or is it 2012?
2008.
2008?
Yeah. Oh, wait, no. That's the... I don't... What? Sorry. Hold, please.
No.
Okay. You're an asshole. Where did I lost it. Where'd it go?
Are you looking for your back to your reviews? Yeah.
This is kind of like mean, but I kind of got it. So for a negative 38 out of 100, and by N. Hornaday at the Washington Post, a dog frequency movie, enjoyable only to those tuned into its particular register.
I can kind of see that though.
I do. I think it just comes off kind of, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like, this is a particular, like I was saying earlier, a particular lane.
It's for a specific. It's the voice of a specific kind of generation, and people like the culture of people in a weird way. What?
No, just
what?
No. So I just looked. I finished what I was doing. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna leave it open. I'll talk to you about it later. But yeah, no, it's definitely.
There's definitely like a generation of people that are like, I would say like 5 years older than me, that this would just kind of be like over their head. And also, if you're not a video gamer, if you're not into comic books and you're not into video games,
if you're not really into that era of that kind of indie rock,
this is really like it's
indie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's really not for you. It's kind of for like people that are like
alternative indie rock, I guess.
Yeah, or just like people that are just in alternative stuff, even though the alternative is kind of became its own mainstream thing in its own way.
Well, that's the thing, is that what we're talking about at this particular time frame, around the age we are at this time frame, is a very specific realm that you're talking about.
This is 2010, so like you're at the end of your high school.
Coming to,
Yeah, and I'm in my early 20s getting ready to move to Seattle.
Going into college.
Yeah.
So it's in that.
I've been going to college for about 7 years at this time, like on and off.
Well, especially in this city at that time, Seattle, greater Seattle area around this time. I mean, the fucking Black Keys opened up for the Microsoft store in U Village.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I remember telling someone that. They're like, what? I was like, yeah. Like, we just stood outside and listened to them. Like, it's just a weird thing. It's a weird sentence to me.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is like the identity of this movie exists within the music, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love this soundtrack. I have a playlist at work that I found that plays this entire soundtrack. The song that Brie Larson sings.
She had an entire music career. Did you know that?
When she was a kid, yeah,
like 2005, like 5 years before.
Yeah,
her albums aren't spot. Okay, you're way more about that. I was like, what?
Because I knew.
Oh well, you could have cared more.
I thought you knew.
No, why would I fucking know that?
I thought we've had this conversation.
No, we haven't. Why would we?
I thought we have.
Why are we talking about Brie Larson trying to be Hillary Duff?
Well, I mean, I would put it like that, but I guess so.
No, but okay, 2005, the aughts era, like that was that was it was be Disney Channel, it was be the next pop star. I mean, everybody did it. Everyone had some kind of attempt at the next Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera thing.
Of course,
I know.
Yeah. And she was just part of that.
Yeah, I just didn't know Brie Larson. I didn't know Captain Marvel did that.
I guess maybe it's just a piece of knowledge that I knew. But I know her now as what she is now because of this movie as well. Because she wanted to go into acting more. She didn't really. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, the identity of this movie is very much in like the music of it. It's influenced and like inspired by like as if you're living in a video game type world, which is fun and cool.
You definitely have to very early, and if you can't do it, you're not going to enjoy it. You have to very quickly acknowledge the fact that you will not make sense of this world in the sense of reality as we know it.
Yes.
You need to just understand that things are going to happen. It's like watching Looney Tunes. Mm-hmm. They're able just to do things, and it doesn't matter why. They can do it, eat the carrot, and move on.
I feel like it establishes it really well, though, at the very beginning.
No, but I think it's the if you don't go with that mindset, the randomness, like Aubrey Plaza bleeping her own mouth, and he acknowledges, how are you doing that?
Yeah.
Even within the world themselves, there is confusion about how people do certain things, but they just... Yeah. It's water off a duck's back. It happens, and then they move on with their life.
Yeah,
and you have to watch the movie like that.
Yeah,
because even they, and which is really funny, is even the characters themselves being like, "It's the hell is going on?"
There's a self-awareness. It's kind of like a Deadpool thing. There's a self-awareness of themselves. Like it's like they weirdly know they are characters. Yeah, but they don't. Like they don't know that they're characters, but the way that they can control the world, like it's, I'm just trying to remember, just like the way that the edits happen and just like the conversations, it's very quick and to the point and quirky, and but it establishes the world is what I'm trying to say.
No, yeah, totally. But also, it's like you could even if you had this thought of like. It's all you could also almost see it as because Scott is our main what's the word?
Protagonist.
Yeah, protagonist. Our main narrative basically because we're watching his story.
It's kind of like his perception of the world.
His it's a Doug, his overactive imagination.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to look at it. I really like that.
When he jumps out of the window and then grabs his jacket, because it's like people acknowledge it just
he just
enough.
left.
Yeah, and that's what I meant also about the kind of slapsticky skit kind of thing to it. But it's like it's kind of fun to think of that out that way because everyone kind of reacts just a little bit, but not enough for like Knives to be like, no, I just saw him. She sees him do it, but she doesn't ever really acknowledge.
And she doesn't acknowledge it yet. Well, because that's the thing is like you got to look at it in the sense of it being a cartoon in a live action world.
Yeah,
you know the like my clown teacher would say it's the clown world that we were living in, and you live in the clown rules. Is that yes, we as the audience saw what happened, and they clearly should have seen what happened, but they didn't because that's the rules of the world.
Yeah, I mean it's the same thing as when, and that's why I keep saying like that's why I
Looney Tunes type thing.
Yeah, because I mean same thing with I don't know, Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take a scotch on the rocks, and I mean ice, and he brings them rocks, and it's just that's the world. Okay, well, you said scotch on the rocks, so that's what you get, you know, and it's got that vibe.
It's like there's like a weird, there's a literalness to it, and then a complete opposite. It's like it bounces back and forth.
Between
this like
exactly.
complete literal and this complete off the wall.
Yeah, and it's like very Looney Tune, very cartoony. Which is like, I mean, great because it's like you can't. Admittedly didn't read the source material, but just from what I know of it from doing this, you couldn't take that world and suddenly try and put it in this real reality box and expect it to go anywhere.
No.
Or even the fans would have really probably hated it.
100%, yeah.
And it's like this is kind of at the end of the day, even though it like I guess was a quiet kind of flop in a sense.
I think it's because a lot of people didn't know how to take it. Like the people that knew what Scott Pilgrim was were probably ecstatic for it, and then people and then people like me who didn't know what Scott Pilgrim was watched something that was like, this is a reflection of my personality and who I am in a very big way.
And then there was the other camp of people that didn't.
They're like, I don't know what the fuck I just saw.
And this is like the last time I'll bring it up, but it is that like. Like even the Speed Racer thing, that huge style, and people pan that movie, but it's like, did you ever watch the Speed Racer cartoon? That was terrible.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous, and that's why I love that movie because that source material was already ridiculous, and they just went, we're gonna throw a bunch of money at it, and we're gonna make it look really cool.
There is a big sense of just this like gatekeeping of like nostalgia, and that was especially like very toxic gatekeeping of the 2000s. The 2000s, I just want. From 2000 to 2010, I just want to dub the toxic decade. It is the most toxic decade I can ever fucking think of. And
everybody getting used to the internet.
And it was the rise of the internet. And just like, paparazzi was out of fucking control. Just TMZ was out. I mean, that's paparazzi, but like so many off the fucking wall things were happening in the 2000s. And that's like why I'm really enjoying like this dark side of the 2000s show on Vice.
Oh yeah, you're talking about that.
Because it's just like, man, how did we just let things get so bad? And of course, this backlash that started like probably like 2015, like of people just like the beginning of like the Me Too movement.
And the cancel culture.
Yeah,
like,
and it's
everything
like,
that happened in the
it's
dark.
Like, of course, this is happening. Look how fucking awful we were. Look what we created.
Yeah, no.
We need to rip the sludge down, man.
Yeah, they're like, so-and-so did such and so in 2001. You're like, no shit.
Yeah, we were there.
We saw it happening.
Didn't you not see it?
Yeah, that is true. It's like, yeah, I remember that. I remember that happening.
And we just said, oh, okay. Guess we're not looking at that anymore.
Oh, boy.
But, what's interesting is with that, you have him. The substance of the story of this movie, I think, is super fucking poignant. But and I can see some like problematic stuff with it as well. Is like, so in comparison of like for like toxic relationships, Scott Pilgrim learned something in this, and compared to like 500 Days, what we just did, I don't think Tom really learned anything at the end of it.
Yeah, but you said that, but then you also like you kind of went back and forth.
He moves forward in a way.
No, but then he went and talked to her.
Yeah, and that's there was some growth. There was growth, but did he learn anything?
That's a Christopher Nolan thing.
Yeah,
because there is no real evidence of yay or nay.
Yeah, exactly. But
so you just got to decide.
But that's what I'm saying is like in this, there's clear evidence of Scott Pilgrim growing and learning something and applying it as a better human being. Like at the very end of it, when Ramona's like, Well, when he dies, and
He
she's
does
like,
the one up, yeah.
well, then she's like, well, why don't do it for me? Like, why are like you, like it's about yourself. Like, be a better person for you, not for me. Which is a thing that a lot of guys in this generation, they project their personalities so much onto what they want this girl to be, they lose their self-respect. They need to learn how to self-respect themselves so they can learn how to respect another.
Well, it's like
person.
you can't love anyone else until you love yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Basically. And I guess the 2000s too were really.
There were so many romantic comedies that were about about projecting the Manic Pixie Dream Girl. Ramona Flowers, in a way, is a anti-Manic Pixie Dream Girl being a Manic Pixie Dream Girl. Because the whole idea of like this Manic Pixie Dream Girl, and this is where like the theory of like they only exist to teach the male protagonist how to be a better person, or how to actually find emotion, how to find love, which she does in this. But then at the same time, she keeps her own identity. Her identity doesn't get swallowed by his.
Well, yeah, but also a thing, and correct me, because I'm still
the Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
Yeah, I'm still wrapping my head around. Well, like I feel like a lot of time in the depiction of a Manic Pixie Dream Girl, there will be character, like I guess just I can't think of another phrase, character flaws or whatever. Mm-hmm. But the Manic Pixie Dream Girl a lot of the time doesn't acknowledge said character flaws. It's just like, I'm quirky, that's my personality.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But Ramona very much acknowledges and knows what she has done.
Her flaws. She's trying to overcome her past. And it's also like, this is all a metaphor of like just two people getting together and like trying to figure out how to like he doesn't really need to worry about her past, but she's also kind of like forcing it, like she's unintentionally forcing it onto him.
No, it's but it's the Santa Claus.
Yeah,
just by kissing her, you're now in this weird contract you didn't agree to.
Exactly.
That you just kind of have to do, where you're just going to be attacked by these seven psychos.
And like one of the best like moments in this is when Knives is like, you cheated on me? And he's like, yeah. And then Ramona's like, wait, you cheated on me? He's like, well, no, I technically cheated on her with you before. And she's like, what's the difference?
Well, like he's like
you lied. It's like, you lied to me. You didn't tell me you had a girlfriend. We hung out. You made out with me. We were about to have sex, and we didn't. So yeah, what's the difference? Like you weren't being honest with me. You were essentially cheating on me right at the beginning because you had a girlfriend already.
Well, it's just like, I just thought it was kind of interesting because that did come up, but after after Patel shows up, so they have that Battle of the Bands thing, and Knives runs up and kisses the first one, Matthew. She never really brings up the Knives thing really again until
later.
But she like seriously runs up, jumps on him, and gives him a kiss on the lips. And it's like, granted, there's enough.
I have to go.
I have to pee on her.
That's the second one.
Yeah. But like, I just thought that was interesting. There was no real, again, that much converse. Well, I guess there was a couple times.
It's
nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know. The exes were pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
I didn't, the 5 and 6, that was a really cool scene, and maybe again it's different in the book, but
there's probably a lot more of the. Also, she dated twins.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Freaky.
Also, that kind of makes me wonder, is like, did
she ever give a backstory to them?
No, we have nothing. It's probably all in the comics. We have no idea in the narrative of the film. No idea
about 4, 5, or 6.
No, 4. Which one?
She just
4 was the girl,
Roxy. Yeah, but they just say she was having a phase or whatever. She never says how.
Which that's kind of a toxic thing as well. That's kind of fucked up.
It was mean.
Yeah.
Well, she gets hurt, like, and that's what I liked about it too. Her feelings got hurt.
Yeah.
She like was like,
Roxy's
I was
like,
just a phase.
Yeah, like fuck you.
Yeah, it was really. That was.
Oh god, she had so many good one-liners. Fucking tri-lesbian or no trisexual. No,
wait.
Fuck.
Oh, I can't remember, but there's a lot of lesbian.
Yeah, it was so
play on
good.
words.
Yeah,
in a really awkward way where like it was kind of fumbly.
Was it kind of fumbly? I liked it.
No, yeah, but it's like I don't know, but like that was her like thing too. Like all she would just kind of say things and they'd be like, what? She'd be like, shut up.
Oh, yeah. Her character was just kind of like that, yeah.
But yeah, no, 4, 5, and 6 we didn't really get much background on. But
we got more on 4, but like 5 and 6, definitely no. Also, I don't know if they really like how was she dating twins? Why was she dating twins? What were the things the twins did?
yeah.
Twins, Basil, twins.
I don't know why, but I didn't realize until watching it again that weirdly enough, there's a line from this that lives in my head rent free. And it's Chris Evans, Lee. What's his name? Lucas Lee. Lucas Lee? Yeah. Lucas Lee. That's actually hilarious.
Just looking at his phone. Yeah.
Hilarious. I don't know why. I just think it's really.
Dude, Chris Evans is so fucking funny.
I don't know why I think it's so fun. It's like. There's nothing there really, but I remember it making me really laugh really hard the first time, and it still gets me. And I'll do it to myself, and I didn't realize that's where it came from. Hilarious.
That's funny.
It's actually hilarious. And I forgot that he did that a lot.
Oh man.
Thing for a minute there. I forgot he was fucking Human Torch. I completely forgot about that.
Human Torch. I mean, he had a huge like comedy career before he became Captain America, obviously.
I know this is such a weird side tangent, but I'm just really curious. Do you think they're actually going to be able to pull off this new Fantastic Four that they apparently finished casting? Are we actually going to be able to pull this off?
I don't know.
4th time's the charm for the Fantastic Four?
3rd time.
4th time. 1, 2, and then the remake thing, and then 4.
Well, 1 and 2 are...
They could have bounced back.
Well, no, 1 and 2 are the same universe.
No, I know, but they could have made an actual successful fucking Fantastic Four movie.
Well, there was also the bad one in the 90s that doesn't exist anywhere.
Huh. I like 4th time's the charm with the Fantastic Four. You know, like Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 it got better. I mean, Spider-Man 1 was good, but like...
Yeah, but also everything else was just getting worse. Anyway...
Put a pin in it. Oh yeah, but like even like God, Matthew Patel, I loved him. The first one.
Oh yeah.
The first boyfriend. Just with his whole like
why does he look like a pirate? Are you a pirate?
Pirates are in this year!
Pirates aren't in this year! No, he says pirates aren't in this year.
No, he asks, are they in this year? Yeah. But he's got the thing and the fucking
he's like an emo kid, yeah. What?
Nothing. I was just hoping I could telepathically send something to you, but I guess it didn't work.
Pete Wentz?
No. Yeah, you're kind of heading the right direction. But I also just thought like...
oh, wait, our friend? God damn it. That's right. He looked like that in high school, didn't he?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Since I didn't know him then.
Yeah.
I knew him as Tech Bro. Anywho. I mean, what's interesting is like there's so much more like emphasis put on with him because he's kind of like the first introduction of it. And then
that's the thing is
Lucas Lee is Chris Evans just steals his fucking like the scenes that he's in. So like you can't cut him out.
Well, that's the thing. And you know, it's a movie. Number one, this is a pretty long movie.
But it feels like the pacing's really good.
I agree with that, except for the fact of the allotted time we had for the exes was so choppy and inconsistent on, you know, and it's like, I know that's really hard to do, but it's, to me, I'm like, you have 7, line it out. We have this amount of time for each one.
The one with with number 3 with Envy, that one needs to be a little bit longer because that's also Scott Pilgrim dealing with his ex and also dealing with Ramona's ex. So there's character growth there's character arc moments for him with that as well. Like at the very end when the ex-boyfriend gets carted away by the vegan police.
That was so funny to me.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Well, because
especially around this time in the early 2000s where like veganism is kind of like this weird sacred like thing in a weird way.
Yeah.
Like it's not as popular as it is now, just like, or accepted.
Well, it's, yeah, and the fact that it gives you like these like pretty crazy superpowers.
Yeah.
And the fact that he has like Superman's powers and he played Superman. So there's like a
He
lot
kind of
of
reminded me of Goku actually. Like he looked like he was Super Saiyan. Yeah, with the blonde. Yeah.
I kind of want to find that scene and send it to Lindsay and be like, yo, bro, like, why did you not tell me that you have like crazy superpowers?
Yeah.
Like, clearly you're not doing it right. Clearly.
Maybe there's something she's consuming that
Fireball or whatever.
But like even one thing I kind of noticed, which I thought was interesting, is it's like a weird funhouse mirror between Scott and Ramona and Envy and I forget his name, Brendan Roth's character.
Todd Ingram.
They both Scott and Todd both play bass. Scott's just it's a different. He's not as good in a weird way, but like I don't know, like
he's skinny and he's
skinny. It's like
scrawny.
Yeah, Brandon. His hairstyle is kind of similar to Scott's, but he's also bigger. It's just a little bit more flashier. It's like this reflection of them. It's like them, but just flashier, like more money type thing. More popular.
Well, I just thought
they're the popular They're the popular kids.
Well, then also just like the writing for it was like really funny and like the visualization, they had the obvious things like Todd wearing the 4, because he's number 4. Or number 3. Sorry, he's number 3.
And then did you notice that Scott Pilgrim was wearing 0?
Yeah, or even like when you meet Matt Patel for the first time too, Wallace, Culkin's character, it's like, hey, it's that one guy. One. And I just thought like, and they're, like the visual was obviously really on the nose, but even the dialogue itself, a lot of the times would just be this very minute little thing they would throw in there, and it just would point to something very obvious. And I thought that was kind of fun. Yeah, and that's what I was saying. It's like making this movie would have been great because like Matt Patel too. His whole he does that, with my demon chicks and fireball. Yeah. It's utterly ridiculous, and he was such a really like fun character. And you're like, okay. And he, since you were saying too, he's your first kind of introduction to the League of Evil Exes. That you're like, okay, we can all kind of expect them to be this kind of over the top, ridiculous character, which they all kind of end up being. Yeah. Obviously, 5 and 6 because they're mute. They don't meet them really.
It's a Battle of the Bands thing. Also, that's a really cool scene.
Yeah, and then then it kind of I liked that. Then you meet Gideon, who's like the head of them, and he is kind of he's kind of just a regular douchebag. He's not really,
but he's the one with money and power because he's the top of the pyramid, also. Yeah, top of the chain of all of it. And the record executive, the one that can be the puppet master to all of these motherfuckers. What?
No, I'm just listening.
Oh, okay.
I'm listening to you talk.
You're staring at me so intensely.
Oh, sorry. No,
it's been a minute, Tommy. Sorry. But yeah, and him just being the absolute piece of garbage person he is.
He's so good at that.
He is so good at being so sleazy.
The hair and the glasses and
it's just that
that smug bullshit.
I love Jason Schwartzman so much. But it's also, I mean, yeah. I don't know what else to kind of say. I mean, there's I do appreciate like Knives' arc. Knives I feel is kind of a little like overlooked kind of sometimes character. She's very important to like the journey for Scott as well, and her journey itself is very important about learning how to let go of like a toxic relationship. Yeah, like how she at the end she grows at the end when she's like, no, go after Ramona. Like I realize as much as what Scott was originally doing with Ramona on projecting like his like love, like his idea on her. That's what Knives was kind of doing the same thing onto Scott. And Scott also being the adult in the relationship, since she's a high school student and he's 22, should have like been more mature and responsible to like cut it off. Mm-hmm. But like when she's like, no, you can come meet my parents. It's going to be wonderful. And he's like, I think we should break up.
That's even the thing too.
Are we cool?
They probably don't want you dating outside of your race. Whatever. I just, and you're like, yep, 2010.
He's like, are you even allowed to date outside of your race?
I don't care. I'm in love.
I think we should.
Well, and it's just like even they just like keep like the visual thing. Like there's just certain like scenes that really like he's fighting Lucas Lee and he's kicking the hell out of him. But there's a scene where and that was really funny.
Oh, the fight choreography in this is great.
Yeah, it was great. Especially the moments. There's these really stylized. Like.
Well, it feels like an Edgar Wright film, in that sense.
Well, yeah, but then there's actually moments where you see them actually making contact, and it just looked really good. But there's even like Lucas Lee walks up and he goes, "Hey, how's it going, new guy? He seems nice." And he grabs him and he throws him and he throws him into the castle. But even that transition of Lucas physically grabbing somebody, pulling them, and then throwing them, it flowed in a way where clearly there's special effects added and some probably computer.
But it looks natural for the world.
It looks like Chris Evans just picked up Michael Cera and chucked him 50 feet. Yeah. And I was just really, and there's a lot of, that's the one that right now popped out, but there's a lot of moments where it was this really crazy stylized thing. But a lot of time in the situation, they don't blend it well enough to where those moments really pop out, and you go really like from physical actors to now CG, and you can kind of see that split between the two of that moment, that transition a lot of the time. In this one, I felt like it was just blended together more.
Oh, so you're saying that it was blended?
It was. I just think with something with this amount of special effects, a lot of the times they just don't blend it well enough.
Yeah.
But that scene of him going, he's nice, grabbing him and then throwing him was seamlessly just whoop.
No, in general, this movie it flows.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, there's nothing that's like, I don't feel like there's anything that's really jarring that takes you out. Maybe a little bit of outdated dialogue.
I get it, but also if you're just not like I was saying, if you're not accepting of this is just the world, the whole movie can be jarring.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you just go into it, like
I have kind of a vague memory of you and I talking about this, and you kind of mentioning that everything seemed very in this like a grounded world, and then all of a sudden it turns into like a video game fight with the first ex-boyfriend. I was like, no, the movie establishes like a weird world, and I like you just were like, maybe I don't remember it that well.
Was this like last week or something?
Oh no, this was like years ago.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was like,
and then because like even just like for like the established like weird world is like Ramona's door like exists between space and time,
and she it's a common thing in America.
Yeah,
did you catch that?
Oh, it's a common thing in America.
She goes, yeah, I guess you don't have that in Canada.
Oh yeah,
so that it's like you're like. What? It's like this hyper highway between dimension thing.
Yeah. So it's like the movie itself is just quirky. Get your shit together.
No.
We're at like over an hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, it's like very quirky and it's an interesting film. Like I said, I didn't.
Not in I eat my cake before my dinner type thing.
kind of, but it's like I don't know. It's definitely we talk about it. It's a, every film has an identity or attempts to, but this one definitely it creates an identity, sticks to it, and is very unapologetically.
Well, and even like Bryan Lee O'Malley, the creator of the comics, the creator of it all, believes appreciates the movie because it captured his vision very well. He was also part of the creative process along the way a lot.
Well, yeah, and I right now I can't think of someone besides Edgar Wright that would
be able to do like
I'm sure there's somebody if we sat there and thought about it long enough.
The Daniels.
Maybe
because like there's something you got to think. I was like Edgar Wright also does like music video stuff, and I feel like
you need someone that has a lot of background in music.
That's funny. Mark Webb last week, 500 Days of Summer. He's a huge music video guy, and interesting. Is there something about romantic comedies and maybe music videos that should be involved? Sorry.
Well, no, it's like it's kind of like it's that kind of vignette stylized thing, And that's kind of because that's what it is. Even with this movie too, it's this set piece to this set piece to this to this fight now to this conversation. Yeah. It's like you're making a bunch of you're making one long music video that has a through line through it all.
Bunch of dance videos,
if you will. But I think Edgar Wright was definitely a good choice And it's just, we've seen that in the past, you know, where you're like, God, this was a cool idea, but they just not the right person, you know, which sometimes you don't know till it's too late.
Exactly.
What are you thinking? You're not going to like mine, so you start.
It's like a 4.
Wow.
I think this movie is actually really, really good.
4.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm also saying that I feel like last week 500 should have been a 4 as well. No, like I really, yeah. It knows its identity. It doesn't shy away from it. It has actually like a really positive message of how to get out of like toxic relationships. I think that it's actually acted very well. Even like the ensemble cast of everyone is stellar. Everyone like pops out to it, and the pacing of it is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, no, like it's not a perfect movie, obviously, but it's definitely really, really, really done well and very good. I'd say it's a 4. I'm not saying a 4.5 as well or a 5. I'm saying a 4.
I was gonna give it a 3. So
a 3?
Mm-hmm.
Man, you really it's just not hitting you.
What?
Well, it's just this movie. Like, it's just, yeah.
I
I was kind of expecting you to like have a
I think it's
like 500 days last week, kind of like a little bit of a 180. You're like, oh wow, this actually is a really good movie.
No, but the thing is, I think I did in a sense, just not in the same way you did. Because like I was saying, I think visually this movie is really just astounding.
Oh, 100%. And that's part of it, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a huge thing for me because, you know, it's the same thing as why I like to go see theater shows or like Cirque du Soleil or whatever. I love sitting there and like, how did they do this? Like, what? And I think this movie is full of that kind of stuff. And it's just really fun because they did enough computer generated, but enough, you could tell like enough practical, actual special effects too, to just kind of create this world. And I think that's really great. The story is just not, and I don't think it's a bad story. Yeah. It just isn't.
I'm really impressed that they were able to have a story with an actual substance to it with all of that. Like most of the time when you have like all of those visuals and whatnot,
that becomes the lead and the story falls on the wayside.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like there's an actual like honest through line and very good through line of a story that plays along with this, with all of these visuals and all of like this stuff and whatnot. So that's why I say a 4.
All right, you want to give it a 4?
I do.
Okay, then we'll do that.
I thought you were gonna try to say like, well, can we meet in the middle? And we're like, yeah, I would have, but if you're willing to give it a 4, you're willing to give it a 4.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna, but I made you do that last week, so
okay,
you get your 4. The book.
Tommy said it was a 4.
Tommy said it was a 3.5. What are we doing next week?
We're just talking.
Wow, that's gonna be weird. We never do that. Oh yeah, it's like a banter thing, right?
Yeah.
Why are we doing that?
Just because people want it.
Take a break.
Also, no, people want it. We're giving what the people want, Tommy.
I've only heard one person.
My friends that listen to Spokane.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh cool. One person has said that to me.
Who?
D.
Oh, I know Indigo likes them too.
Oh yeah, hi Indigo. Did you like 500 Days this summer?
Let us know.
Yeah.
You're going to let us know anyway. Yeah.
We miss you very much. Text me. I think she, I got to talk to her again. Anyways. But yeah, so join us next week for a banter, I guess. And then we have our next lineup, right? I don't want to.
We don't want to announce it? Okay. But we know what it is.
Yeah. I want to look at it again.
We're booked through March.
Just want to look at it again and kind of make sure that's... But yeah, follow us on Instagram, Facebook. You'll see all of our promos there. Along with those promos is a link for our link tree where you can find all of our episodes on all the major podcast streaming platforms, Spotify, Amazon, Apple, so on and so forth.
We're probably on Amazon.
Maybe. Yeah. Every now and then I see an email of like, hey, we added you to our service.
Yeah.
Cool. Sweet. Also, if you're listening, we also do a YouTube, so you can watch if you'd like to do that. And that's pretty much everything. Yeah. This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy
and Jacob's mixtape.
Peace. Bling, 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 bling. Right? And they're done the game.
Yeah.
I thought you knocked over the camera.